Writing on a special sandboard is a traditional way to transmit divine messages, to predict events, or to record auspicious literature that advises people with their obstacles. These messages give people the feelings of nobility and serenity. Directly having conversation with God or Buddha for an ordinary person is a unique, wonderful, and incredible experience. However, such an experience can only be gained serendipitously. In the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting located on the Roosevelt Road, Taipei, Taiwan, when you see these spiritual calligraphies, paintings, and the celestial languages of the painting, you experience a special feeling or perception of the Holy Spirit around you. In the process of having a spirit painting interpreted, it seems as though you are communicating with God, and you are able to receive guidance and comfort from Him spiritually. The method of communicating with God through spirit calligraphy and painting, which transmit Tao and resolves bewilderment, is very unique among the world, needless to say in Taiwan. Professor Song Guangyu from the Institute of History and Language, Academia Sinica, Taipei, Taiwan, said, "Since ancient times, there have been many mediums who communicated with God, most commonly by Fuji. We frequently witness people praying to God or seeking answers through divination in a temple. Historically, Fuji was common in earlier ages in China. In southern and northern Wei Jin dynasties, which is 220 AD to 250 AD, this method was used to record scriptures of Taoism. The great scholar Su Dongpo in the Song dynasty composed poetry and literature through spirit writing. A great number of novels from the Ming and Qing dynasties were allegedly written by this method. After the establishment of the Republic of China in 1912, it became a popular method for preaching among various branches of Taoism. Traditionally, Fuji involves two people holding a long wooden pen on each end and writing on a sandboard to express God's direction. As each word is pronounced by a third person, a fourth person records what has been announced. These spirit writing words have been assembled and printed to be distributed as booklets or pamphlets. Fuji, in the style of Chinese brushing painting, is called spirit calligraphy and painting or pen recording. These writings exhort people to engage in more charity work, to help the needy, and to sponsor scholarships for financially disadvantaged students. The contents of the old booklets reflected social conditions at that time and persuaded people to engage in benevolent deeds. Fuji in Taiwan is still widely practiced with the purpose of convincing people to do good. According to the record of the Essence, Ways, and Virtue, 道德精华录, Volume 5, Spirit section of Dao Yuan, there are 6 ways to transmit God's message through Fuji: the sand and wooden pen, oral description, image transmission, underword hint, dream reach, and pen record. Image transmission is the formation of a visual image without conscious effort, but afterward they are always verified. An underword hint appears when there is a special prediction for events before they occur. A dream message is the transmission of messages in a dream. After waking up, the person writes down that dream. Pen record results when the spirit arrives in the medium's hand or body. The medium then writes down the messages or paints on a piece of paper. This procedure is performed in the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting in Taipei, Taiwan. Fuji has been used to receive messages and learn doctrines from heaven or to answer the seeker's questions. The word Hong Wan Zi Society or Dao Yuan is unique in that it is divided into 4 altars. The Dao altar deals with the cultivation of the Dao. The business altar deals with the prediction of good or bad fortune. The prescription altar deals with the treatment of disease, and the altar of calligraphy and painting uses writing and paintings to exhort people to help them resolve puzzles in their minds. The Dao Yuan in Taiwan is the only faith that possesses the details and differentiation of altars. All the members of the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting are devotees of the World Hong Wan Zi Society or Dao Yuan. The first Dao Yuan originated from the Jinan city of Shandong province in China in 1921 under the leadership of devotee Mr. Du Mo Jin. The Grand God or the Most Holy One created the universe and sent 5 sages to save and comfort mankind. Using Fuji, many important scriptures have been gradually completed and new religious rituals have been instituted. Internally, spiritual rejuvenation or cultivation is achieved through natural meditation. Externally, one should engage in philanthropy. In 1953, the devotees of the Dao Yuan or the World Hong Wan Zi Society started the move to Taiwan. With support from the first mayor of Taipei City, Mr. You Mi-jian, the Taiwan Dao Yuan was established. About that time, Dr. Li Shouqi began to organize the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting in Taipei. This society became the gathering place for the devotees of Dao Yuan to promote God's great way through spiritual writing and paintings. During the past 40 years, this society has upheld the aim of the traditional World Hong Wan Zi Society through intensification of benevolent deeds. All proceeds from the sale of the paintings have been donated to social charities in Taiwan. These charitable deeds included sponsoring scholarships for underprivileged students, supporting homes for orphans, and helping needy people in poor districts and areas. What we see now in the society's spiritual painting and calligraphy represents the innovation of the first mediumship of Dr. Li Shouqi. Dr. Li Shouqi, a 90-year-old retired physician, resides in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts in the United States. He studied pre-cosmic meditation at the age of 18 as a member of Dao Yuan until he attained his spiritual capability at the age of 34. After he moved with his family to Taiwan from mainland China 6 years later, he practiced medicine and continued spiritual writing and painting. At the age of 43, he began to use a Chinese brush pen to paint and write with his left hand for the public routinely once a week. He advised and answered people's questions through spirit writing and painting. Dr. Li Shouqi had watched wooden pen writing deliver spiritual messages in the Dao Yuan. He considered such a maneuver to be quite clumsy. He decided to replace this inconvenient method with the calligraphy and painting using a conventional Chinese brush. To directly write or paint by brush is more flexible and can serve more people. Dr. Li said, "My body serves as the wooden pen, and a piece of paper replaces the sandboard. One person can accomplish the work of 4 people. It seems more simple, however, it is difficult for the medium himself, who must devote a special effort. In addition, the mind of the medium must be elevated to the level of selflessness." While the method of wooden pen and sandboard resulted only in written words or characters, spiritual painting provides colorful pictures or figures that allow great self-deduction, self-awakening, and self-cultivation. The difference between these two styles in how people can get self-salvation with these tools provided for more contemplation. This afterthought can in turn lead to relief from worries, fear, and restlessness, and allow the emergence of peace and tranquility. People who are bewildered or feel a loss of direction in their lives should attempt self-awakening in order to realign their direction and end their suffering. At the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting, seekers are allowed to take the requested spirit painting home. The simple and distinctive picture, the beautiful and bright colors, and the forceful and magnificent calligraphy directly penetrates one's mind. A seeker is able to view the paintings repeatedly and recall their hidden meanings. The paintings may serve as a stimulus for self-reflection about one's efforts to be a whole person and to be a useful individual in society, as well as enhance understanding and enable one to receive God's wisdom and mercy. Both Dr. Li Shouqi and Dr. Li Shipei, the first and second mediumships, had no prior knowledge or skills of painting, but are able to paint 40 to 50 paintings within a period of 2 to 3 hours. Each of their paintings has completely different structures, colors, and verses. It is amazing how the character or styles of Dr. Li Shipei's painting have changed from time to time and have included Western-style oil and traditional Chinese painting techniques. Let us listen to the artistic views of Chinese painting experts on Dr. Li's paintings. Professor Zhang Ran, president of Chinese Painting Association, said, "I love painting and calligraphy, which I learned from various Chinese painting scholars. From an artistic point of view, I see the paintings of Dr. Li Shipei, a physician who was never taught to paint, truly as a pen from heaven. Such techniques cannot be achieved without devotion and hard work for several decades." Quoting Shao Youxuan, a professor of Chinese painting at the National College of Art, "It is my pleasure to know Dr. Li. His paintings are different from those by ordinary painters. They are a special expression of soul or spirit. Besides, he paints with his left hand transversely and can complete a painting in 2 or 3 minutes. These paintings are not his. They must have been painted by the goddess of mercy." Mr. Li Kemei, a distinguished contemporary painter, said, "After viewing Dr. Li's paintings, I found them full of spiritual expression. Today I have the opportunity to observe him paint and feel that we have advanced to a higher level of painting and calligraphy." Dr. Li Shouqi's father, Mr. Li Wanzheng, graduated from Nanjing Law and Political School and served as a judge for many years in the early 1900s. He went to a mountain area near Wuxi, Jiangsu province, to study meditation and Dao cultivation, as well as to learn Fuji as a spiritual mediumship. Thus, through 3 generations, the Li family has had a long historical connection to Daoyuan in spiritual cultivation and mediumship. On April 15, 1990, through God's instruction, Dr. Li Shouqi handed his mediumship to his son, Dr. Li Shipei. Dr. Li Shipei graduated from the medical school of the National Defense Medical Center located in Taipei, Taiwan in 1963. He spent 1 year studying rehabilitation medicine at Ohio Medical Center in the United States. Upon his return from abroad in 1980, he was appointed Associate Professor of Rehabilitation and Chairman of the Department of Rehabilitation at the National Defense Medical Center. In 1991, in order to devote more time to spiritual services, Dr. Li obtained an honorable discharge from the Army as full colonel, giving up his opportunity to advance to the rank of Major General. Currently, during the daytime, he works as a rehabilitation physician in several private hospitals and clinics in the Taipei area. Every Monday and Friday evening, Dr. Li serves as a medium doing spiritual painting and calligraphy to guide people who are puzzled and frustrated in their lives. Although Dr. Li Shipei is a physician, he read widely the scriptures of various religions, including Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Christianity, and Islam, as well as the scriptures from the Daoyuan. In addition to medical science, he uses psychology and physics to try to explain the phenomenon to spirit painting and calligraphy. Nevertheless, he believes that many things are unexplainable in the earthly world because God has ordered them. Although he was baptized in his boyhood, he remained curious, especially about his father's spiritual painting and writing. Dr. Li said, "I realized that the founders of the 5 religions are the most merciful sages from the salvation of human beings. They originated from an identical source. The universe must have a holy Lord, and the gods or Buddhas have an identical Lord who sent messengers to save people and deliver them from suffering and disasters. I am a physician. Medicine is based on scientific background and evidence. Had there not been several occasions of concrete evidence, I would not have believed easily in spiritual painting and writing. My father and I are right-handed. From a medical point of view, the development of our left-sided brain is the same as most persons who are right-handed. But my father and I use our left hands to paint and write transversely. Because our left hands have been used less, our right brains have been underdeveloped. As a result, our right brains are relatively simple and primitive. Buddha or God then borrows our clean, pure right brains to be used for left-handed painting and writing. I never had a painting or calligraphy lesson in my life. I have no basic knowledge of painting. But when I receive spirit at the altar, I can paint 40 to 50 paintings in a 2 to 3 hour period. Each painting is different in its choice of objects, colors, verse, and celestial language in order to appropriately respond to each individual seeker's question. If I had been trained to paint in the past, I would have been bound by my own perception. Dr. Gao Congyun, the director of Taipei Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall, said, "Dr. Li is my good friend. His academic achievement, virtuous character, and sincere volunteer services have been well received and respected. His spirit painting and celestial language have been regarded practically as a unique Chinese teaching." Utilizing his spiritual painting skills, he serves the society by helping people to resolve their bewilderment or problems, as well as to motivate them to become benevolent. This is extraordinary life work as well as a philanthropic act. In the Society for Spirit Calligraphy and Painting, the spirits sent by God to carry out spiritual writing and painting through Dr. Li are frequently Buddha Ji, Sage Fu, and Guanyin Pusa. Buddha Ji was born in Song Dynasty about 866 years ago in 1131 AD. Sage Fu is also Patriarch Lü, born in 797 AD in the Tang Dynasty. Guanyin is also known as Goddess of Mercy. Her existence was recorded over 3,000 years ago. Founders of the 5 religions are occasionally sent to give instructions at the altar. Although expressing messages mostly through spirit painting, sometimes God also imparts through spirit writing powerful and wonderful poems or verses that are full of kindness and mercy and embody a valuable philosophy for human beings. After Dr. Li assumed the office of mediumship, a significant change was the appearance of celestial language. This is actually a reappearance of Tang Dynasty's language used in China 1,300 years ago. Dr. Li simply records what he hears without understanding the meaning. In a reviewed text received in 1984 from Buddha Ji, celestial language was mentioned. According to instructions, celestial language is used along with the interpretation of the picture in the painting, although initially no one knew what it meant. In February 1989, Buddha Ji's reviewed text appeared again, saying that the meaning of the syllables could be depicted with a dictionary. Dr. Li said, "In 1984, I began hearing many voices from the air, but I did not understand their meanings. I spent a great deal of time investigating through medical, psychological, super-psychological, even physics, electronic wave, and magnetic force point of view. I also tried to study the literature regarding animal instincts, hoping to find an answer, but I failed to get any results. Later, Mr. Xie Hua Guang, the former section head of the Library of National Taiwan University, who had received a Japanese education while Taiwan was occupied by Japan, discovered that the pronunciation of the celestial language in each painting resembled ancient Japanese. He then looked in the Japanese 大词林 dictionary for the meaning of the pronounced characters. As it happened, we were able to discover from the dictionary the meaning of the extraordinary messages. Mr. Xie told me that the pronunciation of Old Japanese was very similar to ancient Chinese pronunciation in Tang Dynasty. The sound of what I heard was matched word by word with the Chinese meaning given in the 大词林 dictionary. What initially appeared to be fragmented meanings become intelligible revelatory messages when taken together as one piece. From then on, the interpretation method used in the society became more rational, and translation work could be carried out by more members of the society. This becomes an important characteristic of the society. Dr. Li can communicate with his father in celestial language. They can express thoughts from their soul. Since spirit painting is wisdom from God, every brush or stroke of painting and writing represents predictors or clues of Tao principles to comprehend ourselves. Although the interpretation of a painting does not follow a fixed model or rule, in general the structure of a picture suggests an initial explanation. For example, the beautiful lotus, though rooted in mud, is not influenced or contaminated by the dirty environment and is able to maintain its noble character. The bamboo, with hollow stems between rings, signifies sincere humility. The plum tree, which blossoms in the cold winter and early spring, symbolizes a person with warmth who can tolerate harsh conditions during cold times. The pine tree remains evergreen throughout 4 seasons, symbolize enduring perseverance and strength. Utilizing these plants as the structure of paintings encourages people to struggle and overcome difficulties in a storming environment. One should not despair because of failure, yet on the other hand, one should not be overly content because of richness in material fortune. One should have a clear and illuminated mind. Then one can find a piece of pure land to achieve a quiet mind and spirit. Just look at the painting will learn to first step understanding. A combination of these 3 elements, celestial language, verse, and picture in a painting, complete God's instructions. Though spiritual calligraphy and painting usually concern ordinary daily things, the process is absolutely different from counseling, a fortune teller. Through the Ba Gua, which is derived from Yi Jing, the Chinese book of philosophy, a fortune teller uses a fixed model to extrapolate the answer. Correct or incorrect, believable or unbelievable, the answer depends on chance or deduced calculation, which is not God's instruction. Spirit painting and calligraphy contain unlimited messages of Tao and God's design or secret. A seeker should quietly meditate and deduce their meaning. Spirit paintings can wake up the mind and soul that have lost direction.